sure is nice out here. You know, it's really important to come out here into nature at least every few weeks or so, even when it's really cold. Like I'm out here on Monday, about 2 days after Valentine's Day, and it's about 20 degrees or so. And it was a really long hike to get out here, but I'm really glad that I came out here because I need to come out here to just get away from society and get away from people and get away from all the stressors of life and all of the things that try to pull us away from nature and make us a certain way and make us feel a certain way. And I'm sure that you all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I was out here just thinking. I like to come out here and not bring my smartphone out here or bring any kind of distractions and just sit in the peace and quiet and see what comes into my head and process everything that would otherwise be hard to process if I was distracted or working or something else. So I was out here thinking, and something that's really been on my mind a lot lately and has really been brewing, I've really been pondering, is the idea or the concept that if you want to understand a problem in the world or a problem in your life or a problem in your body, you know, with your health or something like that, you have to always go back to what the source is, and you have to go back in time and you have to see what caused it, what were the seeds, you know, what put this thing into motion and eventually developed into the problem that you're dealing with, right? So for many years, I've worked in a place where I see lots of young people, college students and high school students, and lots of people in the academia sphere, and I see a lot of the same patterns and a lot of the same cliques and a lot of the same bad things and the same evils that I saw when I was growing up in school. Now, what I'm talking about exactly is if you bring yourself back to kindergarten, you know, or first grade, you know, just whenever the earliest that you have some concrete memories of your school environment, your academia experience. I certainly noticed from very early on that if you wanted to fit in, and if you wanted to get anywhere, if you wanted to get good grades, if you wanted to learn anything, you had to be a very specific and you just had to be one type of individual. You had to be a very specific type of specimen, and you had to be one type of learner. And not all of the kids were that type of individual, and not all of the kids were that type of learner. And all of those kids, without exception, really, really struggled and were made to think that they were stupid and that they had bad grades because they weren't intelligent, because they had some sort of mental handicap, because they were autistic, you know, whatever it is. You know, maybe they were put in special ed. But worse, and what was even more evil, was the exclusion and the whole sports culture. If you are not this one type of learner, and you're not this one type of specimen, this one very niche type of human being that you just happen to be born this way, and you maybe weren't very interested in sports, you weren't too interested in the extracurricular activities at school, well, you would be very excluded. The teachers would not really want to help you if you raise your hand, as opposed to the other kids who had to get good grades because they had to go to a sports ball game or what have you. And yeah, and this whole story explains me and my experience in school. So the whole concept of not being accepted and being excluded, not having the right last name, and not being out for sports, all of the suffering and the consequences, the bullying, everything that goes along with it comes about as a result of it is nothing short of butchery. I mean, it's really despicable. It's really bad. It's a very broken system. It's a very singular, exclusive, bad way to bring up kids, and so yeah, this always weighs on my heart and my mind, and I know it had a huge effect on me growing up and who I turned into, and it definitely permanently changed my brain. It permanently changed how I interact with people, how I trust people, how I communicate, and it really put a very bad, very toxic seed in my heart, if I'm being honest. But I know for a fact that I'm not alone out there with experiencing this. And what we need to remember, us people who fit into this box, and there's not very many of us, and I know I don't have to tell you that, but the matter is that school is and always will be an artificial environment. It is not the real world. It is a chamber. It is a lab of sorts. It is a prison training environment, and they are trying to breed, and they're trying to educate and train and instill certain qualities and attributes, and they're trying to make kids want certain things out of life. They're trying to make them behave in certain ways, and there's a whole formula behind it, and it's been in development for the entirety of human history, and there's a lot of things there that are not good, that are bad, that will really put you down a path of suffering. And you might think to yourself, well, I didn't fit in growing up. I didn't fit in school, and I feel like that was a path of suffering. But it is until you get out of school, right? When you get out of high school or even college, because college for many people can be just like high school 2.0. You have the same cliques, and you have a lot of the same indoctrination and a lot of the same brainwashing campaigns and a lot of the same qualities that high school had. But as soon as you get out of there, most people who did not fit in, they have a renaissance of sorts, and that was certainly me. My life just took off. I went out and traveled the world, after saving up a whole bunch of money. And I was really free. I was free to be who I want. I was free to behave how I want. And I was free to learn what I want. I love learning. I love to read books. I love learning information that is not mainstream and is not the common group think. And I love learning about secrets of society, the dark, evil secrets of how our society works, the deep mechanics of it. And, well, if you look at the school environment and what they do to your brain and the way they bring you up and the sports and the conformity and all of it, it really does create an attitude and a type of person who chases materialism and who views value and who views capital of any kind. Anything that holds any kind of value. They view capital as material things. They view it as your appearance, how good looking you are, how beautiful you are, how good you are at fitting in, how good you are at having these very boring conversations, with the popular kids. I'll never forget one time when I was in high school. Just out of curiosity, I thought I would just go sit at the table with all of the popular kids and just observe and learn and see what's going on. What are they talking about? How are they behaving? What what is the ideal specimen I am supposed to aspire to be like? And I'll tell you, I'll never forget it. It was the most boring lunch period I'd ever had. I didn't hear them talk about one interesting or compelling or it was just the most boring conversations, and it was all it's I just remember thinking to myself, I could never hang out with these people, and I could never put on the act. I could never change my way to fit in with these people. And I did see a lot of kids who were changing their behavior. They were being who they weren't. They were lying to themselves. They were being imposters, all just to try and fit in. And that's going to really, that is shooting yourself in the foot. And those people will learn eventually, years down the line, that it doesn't matter if you change yourself. These people will never accept you, but more so, and more importantly so, you will never fit in with them because you are different. Okay. And this isn't. I'm not saying I'm different in a better way or like I'm conceited in some way or anything like that. It's the other way around. I was told through all my years growing up through school that I was not good enough, that I was not smart enough, that I was bad at math, that I was awkward, that I was as dumb as a bag of rocks. I mean, you name it. But it really is. It really is so wonderful and so perfect to see now where all those people ended up. Okay, they're alcoholics, they're drug addicts, they're in prison, they're morbidly obese. They have all these horrible problems, and I've been drunk maybe once. I've never touched drugs. I've worked out, 6 days a week nonstop. I've never missed a beat. I mean, I have a motivation and a drive for self-improvement and self-betterment and learning that is unbreakable, because any success that I can taste, any sense of achievement that I can feel is priceless to me, because for so much of my life I didn't have it. And I know the value of it. I appreciate the value of it. And people like us who fit into this box, we see value in a different way. We have a deeper, more profound, non-superficial way of looking at capital in the human experience. What holds value? And to us, it is usually not materialistic things. We have deeper compassion, deeper empathy, and just a so much more profound way at looking at things, because we know what it's like to be alone. We suffered alone. We had no one there for us. We were always beaten down, and we find ourselves later in life, out of all that academia hell, we find ourselves in a sort of an alien environment. You could almost say that we are traversing forbidden lands. Forbidden lands because it is not what we are programmed. It is not what we are told we should be doing, okay? Metaphorically, okay? The way that we think, the things that we pursue, the things that we chase in life, okay? And arguably the most valuable thing about being in these forbidden lands is that you have freedom. You're one of the few people there. It is non-treaded territory. You have the freedom to be who you want. You don't have to put on this act. You don't have to buy the expensive AirPods. You don't have to wear the stupid clothes and the American Eagle and the Abercrombie and all that bullshit, you know? You're free to be who you want. And when you're free to be who you want, your development, your mental development, the development of your character, all of these things are going to really have exponential growth. Okay, as opposed to someone who's lying to themselves for so much of their life, trying to fit in with these 1% and 2% very specific specimens. So the freedom that we are afforded and the freedom that you can enjoy is unparamount. It's really a treat, and it's really a treasure, and what I consider value and capital. But anyways, yeah, always be true to who you are. Never try to fit in. Always just try to improve yourself and be the best person you can be. Avoid filling yourself with hate and resentment, and just accept that you are not like other people, and you never will be like other people, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's just going to be a much harder path for you. But that difficult path is going to forge you into a very strong, very determined, very resilient, and very real kind of man. And that's really where I find myself now, you know. I don't say that to brag. Like I said, my whole life I've been told that I'm nothing, that I'm not good enough, that I'm stupid. But all the people who have told me that my whole life, well, they really aren't doing too good right now. And well, that's what it is. So hope this video resonated with you in some way. I hope somebody out there that needs to hear this message hears it. I have a very small channel. I feel that I talk about things in my videos that the YouTube algorithm doesn't like, because I'm talking about things that are in the realm of forbidden lands, right? But anyways, God bless you and your families, and thank you for watching.